Hello and welcome to another DD Gaming broadcast. Today we are going to be doing WhiteRaw versus, well actually DuckloadR in this video, as the name he goes by, his sponsor Duckload. Playing against mouzStrelok on the map
Shakira's Plateau.
Thank you. I had a brain fart. It happens. So anyways, moving on to a couple of statistics about the players before we actually get into the cast. I'm going to bring those up for you guys right now. DuckloadR, the Protoss for this game, is currently ranked 5 in the EU region, maybe even 4 by now. It could have been later. Was 4 in the world at the time that I took the stats off SC2 ranks. Had 3,940 points, 1,374 losses, 785 wins at about a 64% win percentage. So doing darn well on the ladder, definitely laddering a ton. And now I'm going to send it over here to maskMEDIA to do the stats for Mouse.
Yeah, we have mouzStrelok. He is currently ranked 1,043, and his points are around 3,000. He doesn't have a lot of ladder games, so don't let that trick you into thinking he's not a good player. And his win percentage is around 64%, so, I mean, that shows that obviously he's doing something right, at least on the ladder.
Definitely a capable player. So now we're going to get into the game now, and get into this cast. So as we start into the game here, in the bottom left corner, or actually bottom right corner, my apologies, we have DuckloadR as the red Protoss. Then back over here, in the bottom left corner, as I meant to say for him, we have the green Terran of mouzStrelok. Now, given their positions in this game, what would you kind of expect to see out of these two?
I mean, in Terran versus Protoss in general, I mean, the standard's kind of more of a bio type thing for the Terran, and either Colossus or Templar tech later on for the Protoss player. But I mean, we'll see kind of as the builds unfold here what what the Terran and Protoss opponent are going to be doing.
Definitely a little bit of banter going on before the game. Obviously, neither of us speak the language they're speaking in, whatever it may be. So we don't know what they're talking about. Apparently he's going to micro something, and then he's going to land something. Micro the planet, maybe? Sounds like they're talking about maybe some of Protoss? Who knows?
I have no idea what's going on.
Barracks going down on 12 for Mouse here. Pretty standard, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, of course, you're going to expect a barracks. You're going to expect, of course, the gateway going up at relatively the same time. And we'll kind of get a read on the builds as we kind of watch the gases pop up here to really kind of see what we might see, if we're going to see heavy tech or if we're going to see more kind of just gateway and or barracks-based units.
A little chest bump there by the SCV and the probe as they pass each other. Back into Mouse's base. He is getting gas, so definitely probably going to do, I'd say, your standard Marauder thing, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, you can assume you'll see some form of Marines, Marauders, you know, Stim, Concussive Shell. I mean, it's pretty rare that you don't see a bio play. You can kind of tend to see some Banshee plays and Harass plays from the Terran, but typically you see more of a bio mass.
Looks like Mouse is going to scout here now. Duckload looks like he's just about to get to Mouse's base. He's going to see the cybernetics core going up and a second gas. So a lot of potential things tech related that I think we could see Duckload doing with the second relatively early gas.
Yeah, normally with a gas like that, I wouldn't expect necessarily a fast expansion. You know, maybe an earlier pressure, but, you know, definitely I would be a little bit, you know, defensive if I was Terran playing.
Oh, a little bit of a slip there. Just was trying to see what Duckload has actually seen, and the screen decided to slip on us. Our apologies. So now that the scouts have left, and Duckload actually has a stalker out,
we also do see Concussive Shell going up.
And Mouse getting his units out, probably sees the real builds actually start, I would think. Actually, command center going down behind this light push by Mouse. This might be using this maybe just for some early pressure on, I would say, to try and cover that expansion?
Yeah, I'm guessing, that's part of it. He does catch, as we're seeing right now, he's catching the Stalker out here right now. It kind of prevents some of the scouting, too, or Protoss kind of abusing their early mobility in kind of, giving them a little bit of map control. Definitely that Stalker wants to stay away from the Marauder. And having Concussive Shell already up, which is probably typical, I'm sure White-Raw knows, he doesn't want to engage that.
Yeah, definitely looks like White-Raw was prepared for it. Had a sentry at the ramp, probably would have just force fielded. Had Mouz tried to actually push up. In the meantime, back in Mouz's base, we have another barracks going down. Actually have a factory going down. It's pretty typical, as most Terran are going to need to tech to the starport to get the good old medevacs. Tech lab on one, reactor on another, so definitely probably going to see a lot of bio out of Mouz here. Has his orbital up, muling as usual. If you look at the resources right now, actually White-Raw with a slight advantage as he's actually gearing up here to take his second base. Back in his base, he is now up to 3 gateways. Cybernetics Core and Warp Gate is done. Looks like White-Raw is actually pushing out a little bit here, although Mouz does see it coming with the SCV. We also have a Pro moving forward here. Now, do you think he's going to actually be trying to apply a lot of heavy pressure here?
Not exactly. I mean, that pylon placement isn't really on top of the base. I guess, we're definitely going to see some form of pressure. I think on 3 gates, I wouldn't really expect a big fight here.
Bunker going up.
Especially seeing that, I mean, early on with Stim and Concussive Shell and everything else, Protoss really probably...
So probably just more to cover the expansion.
We'll find out.
Alright, so it does look like Mouz is going to be ready for this attack. Bunker is finished. Plenty of units right at the top of the ramp. Duckload is going to push in, throwing down some force fields here. Push it back Marines a little bit. Duckload is going to back out of this, though. Neither really losing any units at all.
Yeah, I think that's a really smart way to just kind of push up the ramp like that. I mean, really he did the damage economically, not necessarily by, charging up that ramp, killing that bunker, but just by delaying that expansion right there. And I'm assuming, yeah, his own expansion's already up and running, so really he kind of is gaining a lead, setting himself up coming into the mid-game here.
Stim just finished for Mouz right after that battle, so probably couldn't have actually chased right there. Mouz now actually going to take his expansion. Combat Shield's also coming up for Mouz. Back in Duckload's base, we're actually going to kind of see the route he's going to go, as we actually do have a robotics bay going down, so probably going to be seeing some Colossus after this Cerber, I would assume.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely going to be going Colossus, which is, I mean, especially in the position he's in right now, it should be fairly strong coming in the mid-game here. Maybe go for a push, but actually, it seems like Terran's pushing out, so we'll see.
Yeah, it looks like Terran's going to be pushing out here now. He has Stim. Combat Shields will finish soon, so probably trying to time it so that Stim and Combat Shields come out. 2 more barracks is going down back in the base.
We do see that Colossus and Thermal Lance both being... one being built and one being researched, so...
Yes, definitely. Alright, let's be interesting to see if Mouz is going to push in here. Mouz is going to go up. Oh, he's going to actually snipe off a pylon. Very good move. A couple of stalkers back in Duckload's base. Guardian shield going up. A couple of force fields. Does pin the army in. Looks like Duckload might be able to clean this up pretty decently. Zealots are very good against Marines, not quite as good against Marauders.
Yeah, I mean, I think that engagement's about to be cleaned up there right now, but I think I like that engagement. I think he was kind of forced in a position where he's going to have to engage there. So, the force fields, not splitting the army, but kind of holding most of the army up front, I think wasn't necessarily a bad move in that situation.
5 gateways now going to be the total for Duckload as he puts up 2 more gateways. Still producing Thermal Lance and Colossus out of his Robo. Also going for a Twilight Council. What do you imagine he might be going for with the Twilight Council here?
We could possibly see some Templar tech, but seeing that he already kind of has out the Colossus, that's not really what I would expect. Maybe DTs, maybe, you know, some kind of upgrade. Blink Stalkers, maybe.
Actually, a Tech Lab now put on the factory. Kind of an interesting choice considering he does have such a heavy bio composition. What did you actually expect from this? Do you think he's actually... Oh, never mind.
Siege tanks coming out. I was about to say maybe we would see some Banshee play here, get some harass from the Terran, but actually going for tanks, which is kind of rare. I mean, you see it happen sometimes, but, you know, maybe we're going to see a timing push, maybe siege mode.
Looks like we're actually going to see what he's going to be doing with these, as now we have a Dark Shrine going down, and Charge for Zealots, and just by happenstance, Mouz actually just now built a turret at the front of the base, so maybe Mouz thinking that there could be some kind of DT play, do you suppose?
He might have read that.
Oh, and hold on, we actually have a drop going on in White Raw's base, killing 1, 2, 3 Zealots, picking up. Looks like he's actually going to get away. Kind of some decent harass there, I'd say.
Yeah, but at the same time, I still think White Raw handled that really well. I don't see that actually hurting him in this match right now. And we got a third going up.
White Raw now putting up a third base. Maybe what the Dark Templars are for, I'd assume.
Yeah, what Dark Templar are meant to kind of do normally in this situation are kind of give you some map control, denying you, you know, third base or whatever else Terran is doing. Also allow some scouting.